Hello everybody, welcome to the Learning Pro Live. My name's Cath Ellis and today I'd like to talk a little bit about domain names. How do you go about getting one? What you should think about? What are the things you should do first? For me, it was the very first thing that I did on my journey to become a freelancer, thinking about how do I want to be identified? Do I want to have a business name? Do I want to go by my name? Luckily for me, I owned my domain name for many years, but I'd like to take you through a bit of a journey, things that you should think about, and hopefully it will be useful to you. Now, we've got a few people tuning in, so let me know, where are you tuning in from? Have you started a freelance journey, or are you looking to get a domain name? You could even be working on a project with a client and you think that it's worthwhile for them to buy a domain name for the project. I know that I worked with a client who was selling civics training, and instead of just doing a generic kind of name for their branding, I suggested, why don't you buy a domain name for the actual product that you're creating? So, you know, it could be for a variety of things that you're looking at getting a domain name. For myself, I'm not the only Cath Ellis, so there's lots of Cath Ellises. It's quite a common name, but there is actually another Cath Ellis who is in education, and quite frequently I get emails, requesting things from her, and yeah, it's a different Cath Ellis. And as we kind of as there's more of a population, there's going to be more people who are kind of, well, you could say, turn into celebrities. For example, Tim Slade. There is another Tim Slade who is not in education. I think is a motorcycle rider. So these are things to think about when you're thinking about starting your business. But there is a good way for you to start, and I've got a very good suggestion. So let's jump into it and take a look. So I have brought up a website here, and it's called NameCheck. So that's NameCheck.com. This is where I generally start my journey. Now, just bear with me. I'm just going to move this. I have something in front of my screen, and I just want to make it a little bit smaller. There you go. Oh, we've got Crystal here. Let's have a look. How are you going, Crystal? Thanks very much for tuning in. So Crystal says, yes, I'm moving more into a freelance space. So hopefully this will be quite useful for you, Crystal. I'm going to show you how, basically my workflow, how I go about finding good domain names. So great topic, Cath. Also, this can often go horribly wrong. Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, it's something that is fairly inexpensive as well. So I'm a bit of a hoarder when it comes to business names. I'm always looking for something good to come up, and I just buy it, and not really to go on the resale market. However, business names and these kind of things can make you a bit of money if that's something that you're interested in. So you can see across the top here, you've got all these different options, .coms, .nets, all this kind of, they're called TDLs, right? I actually don't even know what TDL stands for. Let's have a look. TDL. Let's see if it'll give me a definition. TDL, top level domains. Okay. So there's all these new ones that are coming out frequently, but I think that you can fairly confidently say that you should be looking for a .com. And if you are in the UK, you should potentially be also looking for a .co.uk. Here in Australia, I look for a .com.au. So there are things for you to think about. And I think this is a really good way for you to start. So, name checker, where do you begin? Obviously, get a few ideas in your mind. What are you thinking about? Is it you're going for Crystal Wilson, for example? Are you going for instructional design tips? Are you going for, some other kind of business name, right? So sometimes I'll do things like do a search online for business name generator. Now, I would never go with anything like this, but you might get some pretty nice inspiration. So let's just say you go eLearning. Okay, and you've got different things that are here, and they're just horrible because these are just giving you they're just generically putting names, words next to eLearning. You're not really getting anything. There are options out there that you can actually buy. So it's like a business name. Let's just say by. There are businesses, see, you've got some things here. We create business names. So, you can basically, here's Amanda, just hopping by to say, okay, bye. And then she's like, yay, Shopify. She works for Shopify. Hey, Learning Charm. That is Amanda's nickname. All right. So there are platforms that you can go and you can kind of buy a whole package if you want to. But let's just get back to this because this is the whole gist of this. All right. So if I've got a business name that I'm looking to purchase, I'm going to use an example of a disability company that I basically have with my wife. It's called Coability. So what was my journey of looking up Coability? So this is what we wanted, and we did a search. Okay. So Coability, right, at the time, had a .com that was gone, but didn't have anything else. Everything else was free. All of the social medias were available, but the .com was gone. It was parked. And we said, okay, it's an Australian-based company. This is not a worldwide service. So obviously someone has bought a .org and a .space. We own the .space, but I don't think we own the .org. So that was our journey. We had a business name that we were interested in. We were looking at all different options, what we wanted. But like I said, that was the main goal. Has the domain name that we're interested in got all of the social medias available, and what is going on with the domain name right now? So, that for me said, okay, that is a good opportunity for you. .com, obviously someone has thought about the business name and has bought the .com. So if I actually go to coability.com, yeah. So someone has bought it, but no one is doing anything with it. Okay. And we obviously were able to get all of the social medias. So it was you could say a missed opportunity for whoever that person was. The same with me. Many moons ago, I was looking for Cath Ellis, and I did exactly the same thing. So if I just go back to NameCheck, I might even refresh it. If I look up the name Cath Ellis, so I actually own a number of domain names, cathellis.com, cathellis.net, .com.au, cathellis.live. You can see that there are other options here, and most of the socials I would have got Cath Ellis. Oh, Amanda, I don't have Shopify. That's not good. So this kind of tool is really good for you to work out at a high level what is gone and what is not gone. So if I go back to Coability, if that was something that I wanted, now we actually don't have the name trademarked, but if we jump over here to Trademark, this is something that you should also be at least aware of, you know, if this is a business name that you're interested in. And I'm going to show you some interesting things with eLearning. So if I go, I'm just going to go global trademark search. Okay, I think this is one that I looked up recently. Okay, so I was obviously that something like Cath Ellis, you're not going to trademark a name, but you might trademark if you've got a brand. So for example, Coability, this is available. Okay, what's really interesting is a number of years ago, there was a company called Grovo who trademarked the word micro-learning. So the word micro-learning. So if you type it in here, you can do a search and you can come up with this, and you can see trademarked by Grovo. I don't know what they were thinking when they trademarked this, but you know, it was a pretty it wasn't even a new kind of word, but that's what they were basically going for. They were selling this as trademark. So it's good for you to kind of get your, and so I did a search last night where I put in eLearning, and I saw that someone's actually trademarked the word eLearning company, which is so bizarre. Anyway, they have, and you can go in here and you can basically look at all the details of who these people are, etc. So if you're looking at basically you know, registering a business name, I'd be having a look here in on a kind of global trademark program to just check and see what is available, what is not. You can see there's actually pages and pages of you know, you can imagine these huge companies like eLearning Brothers, eLearning Industry. They've got, you know, they've trademarked these names so no one else can use them. For me, as a small freelancer, it's not something that I'm majorly concerned with as far as trademarking a business name. If it becomes, you know, an absolutely knockout, I mean, look, and it's not majorly expensive, so I suppose I should encourage you, if you look on here and the name that you want to use is available, and you've gone in and you've had a look at NameChecker, and all of this is available as well, I'd say you're probably onto a good thing. Some other things that I think about, though, let me just change my camera over. Some of the things that I think about, though, are the fact that you want to think about if someone else uses the brand name. So let's say you start a business name and you haven't trademarked it, and someone else starts using a very similar name that isn't, aligned with the same values that you have. Look, these are things that you should consider as well. So just be very careful in your mindset of what exactly you're purchasing. I have thought over the years whether I want to move away from cathellis.com and go to a business name, but most people know me now by Cath Ellis. So, have a think a little bit about where you sit. Do people already know you? Is it going to be easier for them to find you via your name? Nearly all of my business comes through Google, so at this stage I probably wouldn't change it too far. For example, you can see on the top right hand corner I've got the logo for the Learning Pro Live. So the Learning Pro Live is the way that I've put together a free community for e-learning designers. Instead of me confusing clients by having Cath Ellis and having this product attached to it. So I've kind of thought a little bit about, I want to do a different brand for a part of my business, and other people are doing that as well. You've got examples like Tim Slade, who's got the eLearning Academy, and there's other people who've got their own products as well. So, these are things for you to consider. I think if you definitely use a product like NameCheck, this is going to give you an overarching idea of what's gone, what's not gone. Obviously, you jump into Trademarks. Now, Trademarks are quite interesting as well because they apply to images as well. So if we go to Trademark business logo and name, you can actually do a search for these things. So there is a website as well that talks a little bit about trademarking logos. Now, I can't think for the life of me which website it was that I was looking at that had trademarks for logos. But it's things like, if you want a fox in your, if you found a generic logo, or even you've had a logo created, you should probably go and look and see. So what's here? So this is, does my logo qualify for a trademark protection? If it's strong enough, it will. If it's not strong enough, they'll reject it. Okay. This includes, so in the world of intellectual property, a strong logo or name is one that is unmistakably unique to its creator. This includes made-up names like Microsoft, Google, as well as words and symbols not typically associated with the product or service they're attached to. Apple, White Castle. So you can go and you can have a look at if you've built, so for example, without a doubt, companies like eLearning Brothers, Kineo, Sponge would have a trademarked logo. Okay, so there are things out here to consider. I'd certainly suggest that you go and you look into all of this. So first thing to consider, what do you want to do with your business? Do you want to have your name? Do you want to have a business name? Okay, that's fine. Get some ideas, jot them down. Come on to something like NameCheck and have a look. Is anyone using this? And when you come here, if you do have a situation where these are taken, go and look and see how they're being used. You might find that one thing is gone, like coability, and you go, okay, well, that's being parked. That is a little bit of a risk. I can't find, like I went and tried to look at who was the, you can go to whois.com. And you can basically, I'm pretty sure it was Whois, and you should be able to do a search who owns that domain. Sometimes someone might have privacy on the back of it. Okay. So go do some research. If you feel like this is something that might be a good opportunity for you, fantastic. Go and check if it's trademarked and then move forward with it. Now, as far as purchasing domain names, you can get them for next to nothing. If you go to GoDaddy, or I use Crazy Domains, you'll find that these things don't cost very much. You might also just want to buy a domain name to have it, okay? I use a tool which is really nifty, actually. It's called Rebrandly. Let me just go into it so I can show it to you guys. So, you know, like Bitly, Bitly, Rebrandly is a very similar. Let me just move over so I can log in and I can show you. Rebrandly is very similar to Bitly. So I own a number of domain names, and I actually bought one yesterday. I bought cathellis.live. So if I go to domain, now that cost me $2, $2 for a year, the first year, and then it's $32 afterwards. Okay. Now, what's nice about this is some of these, hey, Cara, great to have you tuning in. I hope you're well. I'm presuming it's Sunday night, Monday morning here. What I really like about Rebrandly is this allows me to basically customize domains. So you've probably seen in the blurb of my YouTube videos that I've got affiliate links that I've been able to customize. So let's say I want to create a new link here. I can go to, it's a destination URL if I want cathellis.com, okay, and I want to use, oh, the new one hasn't come through. Let's say Learning Pro Live /Cath. It doesn't really make much sense, but if that was something that I wanted to do, I could create a link. And what's nice is it will actually give me statistics on all of these different links. So you can see certain URLs here. It shows you how many clicks I've had. But if I want to change this link at a later date, what's nice is I can literally just go in here, edit it, and change where this is going to. So let's say I want to keep this, but I want to change that and have it go to google.com. So that's great. It can be a live link. So I use it for things like eLearning. If I've got a URL that I think might change at a later date, these are quite useful as far as changing resources. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It allows you to customize your URLs. I don't know why my new domain hasn't started working yet. That's really bizarre. So it's ready to be used. include it in the workspace. Maybe that was something that I needed to do. Anyway, doesn't matter. But Rebrandly was nice, and that actually had a pretty nice function as far as checking out domain names. So, you know, I was looking to see what is available here with regards to e-learning, and you can see you can buy these things for next to nothing. So if you just wanted to, for example, have a domain name for something like changing links, so it might be, you know, instructional design tips. Actually, there was a e-learning tips, I think, that cost nothing, $20, right? So, you know, if you wanted to get a URL, something like that, that's pretty neat. And things like that, you know, I wouldn't be too worried about trademarking. You know, obviously check it, because, you know, you've got companies branding things like eLearning company, which is so weird. But anyway, look, I wanted to do this video. I thought it might be useful. I think it's something that catches people out a little bit, and they get pretty stuck on how to go about purchasing a domain name. But there are lots of things to consider. If you've got good names, remember you've got a whole platform like LinkedIn that you can put some ideas up there and say, what do you guys think? Reach out to people that you know, get their input on it, and go from there. However, I'm going to knock this on its head and wrap this thing up. I hope this video has been useful. I have got something really exciting that's going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to start a new Cara, what are you saying here? There is certainly someone who is starting. Yeah, very good, Cara. So I've got some exciting things to announce in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be doing a new type of live stream in which I'm going to be incorporating the community. We'll be doing some live builds, and we're going to look at some realistic scenarios. So for those of you who are kind of on this freelance journey, want to know how I do things, well, you're going to find out, because we're going to be doing it live, and you'll be able to get involved in it too. So hang out and hold tight, and I'll be announcing that very soon. Right, so I'm going to wrap things up. My day is going to be jam-packed full. I've got client work. I've got to re-export SCORMs out and all that fun stuff, and talk to some clients about new work. So I'm going to have a busy day ahead of me. I hope that you have a fantastic week, Cara, you know, as of tomorrow. And yeah, for those of you in Australia, have an awesome day. And those of you still on your weekend in the States, well, get ready, back at work tomorrow. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.